What's up, you guys? I am coming at you pre-recorded from Greenville, South Carolina. My husband and I are taking our anniversary trip. Every year we're gonna go camping at a different spot. So this is our second anniversary. So we decided to come to South Carolina since we'll be moving here in just a few months. So I have to pre-record it because we are in a campground, and so I don't trust the Wi-Fi. They do have Wi-Fi here, but I figured it would come in and out. So this is going to be pre-recorded, and then I'm going to upload it to our Growing Bit by Bit page. So that way I get you guys a video even from like 8 hours away. So I have my notes here. I had to print them off for you, and I was gonna do this inside just so like people walking around weren't like, what the heck, why is she talking to her phone? But I'm like, you know what? It is already 80 degrees here and it's like 9 a.m. So I'm gonna soak up this weather while I can. So we are in week 2. Make sure that you do all of the tasks from week 1, which if you forget what those are, go ahead and rewatch the video from week 1. I'm hoping that week 2 will not be as long of a video, so I'm really gonna try to keep it to like 20 to 30 minutes. My husband ran to the shower house really quick, so my goal is to actually be done by the time he gets back, which we know is not gonna happen. So make sure you go ahead and comment replay when you watch the replay, since no one will be catching this live. And then come next week, I'll be back to doing lives, and we'll be back to regular scheduled programming. But hey, this is the beauty of this business. We can adapt as we need to with our life. And so that's how week 2 is going to go. So for week 2, this is all about growing and making fun out of this business. So not making fun of this business, but making fun out of it. So especially with growing your team and recruiting, it really should be fun. And I think that there's so many fears and like obstacles that we feel like are in our way that make it seem like it's not fun. But truthfully, growing and building those connections and making relationships with new people is actually super fun. Of course, like doing this kind of stuff and like being with our team and getting to do trainings, and like once we go back to in-person events, like so many of you guys haven't gotten to experience that because of the time that we're in. But once we get back to that, like truly the community that you have here and building those connections is like my favorite part of this business. And so we have to grow, we have to sponsor to be able to have those events, to be able to have a team. So I think once we get back to in-person events, you guys will see the beauty of it even more. So as far as this week, what I really want to focus on is having fun with recruiting and sponsoring while leaving the money and the business side out of it. So I got a lot of these notes from one of the breakouts in SFR. So if you watch that, you'll see a lot of the stuff is similar. I did take some stuff from other leaders, but her perspective on it was something that I hadn't seen yet. And it really opened my eyes and like flipped my mindset, which is what this business is all, or this series is all about. So that's why I wanted to bring it to you. So if you did watch that video and a lot of this sounds familiar, I'm sorry, but I'm also not, because a lot of times hearing things multiple times is what gets it to stick. So that is, I feel like people are like coming up behind me because there's like leaves dropping. But getting it to stick and really thinking about learning and growing and what those notes have to say, sometimes hearing it that second or third time is actually more beneficial than hearing it the first time. So for some of you, it may be new if you didn't attend SFR, but if you have heard it, just bear with me. It shouldn't be too long. So make the conversation that you have extremely natural. So don't talk about how much money you make, because you wouldn't go up to a stranger on the street and at like a full-time 9-to-5 job and tell them how much money you make. So leave that out of it whenever you're talking about Cincy too, because that's not natural. That's not how we carry on normal conversation. If you do, that's fine, but then that's you. So just really try to allow the conversation to flow naturally, and don't feel like you have to push it into their face, because as soon as you feel awkward about shoving it down their throat, they probably feel like on the opposite end of it, feel like you're shoving it down their throat. So make it fun, make it natural. Again, I've said this 1.5 million times, but you should not decide who should and shouldn't join. Meaning that you should not offer the opportunity to someone because you think that they're a physician who makes all the money in the world. Because yeah, they could make all this money in the world, but maybe they don't want the money side of it. Maybe they want the community side of it, because they feel like, all they do is work 24/7 in their private practice, and they feel like they have no friends and community outside of that. So offer the conversation to everyone, make it natural, and don't make it feel like you have to like tailor it based off of who they are, because if you're leaving the money and the business side out of it and talking about the feelings and the community and the stuff that we're going to talk about, then that can apply for everyone, not just someone who needs extra cash or someone who doesn't need extra cash. So you really should be having fun with this. I know it's hard, I know it's awkward, and I know like initially it's like, how can I be having fun when I feel like this? But the more that we do this and the more that we make it a part of our lifestyle, which we'll be talking about later this month, the more natural it is for you and the more fun it becomes for you. As always, be true and authentic to you. Do not ever change a conversation just because you feel like you need to get a recruit out of it. Don't feel like you have to say something that maybe is not even entirely true just so you can get a recruit out of it. Be generous, be authentic, and be simple. That's Scentsy's core values, and that's how you should be having these recruiting conversations as well. So these next few bullets that I have here are going to be our tasks for the week. So I'll kind of recap at the end, but I'm going to preview them now. So write down why, not who, but why people should join Scentsy. Thinking bigger than money. And I know it's easy because that's like one of the first results that we see in this business is that extra cash, is the ability to buy a tank of gas, is the ability to pay off student loans. Like when I do that, I want to share it, and it's okay to share that. But in this week, we're going to talk about bigger than money. So think on the lines of like feeling, which we kind of discussed last week, and that's why I wanted you guys to make that post on your personal page, because it was going to get you guys your wheels turning, so this wouldn't be a new concept this week. But think more along the lines of a feeling that it gives you. So your task for this week is going to be starting a list of why you love Scentsy. So it can be on your notes, on your cell phone, so you always have it with you. It can be in your planner. It can be a physical list that you keep with you, but I want you to keep it with you all the time. So however you want to do that, you're going to start a list of why you love Scentsy. You're going to name everything. So you're going to name what products you love, how it's easy to sell, a feeling that Scentsy gives you, the fact that you have a team, a community of boss babes that love and support you, the way that it makes you feel at events. Even if you did SFR online this year, like that is still like a place that we come together. Even if it is virtual, you still probably had a feeling, especially watching like recognition videos. I love that. That always like gives me tears in my eyes because I'm like so proud of those people. So like naming that stuff, naming the recognition that you get, whether it's from, you know, your sponsor, your director, from Hannah Hall, whatever it is, you're going to get a list and you're literally going to name everything you can think of, okay? So this is going to be like rough draft. You're going to start it and you're just going to list as many things as you can, okay? And then throughout this month and on, and that's the biggest thing is and on, because again, we can do all this stuff. We can have a fire lit underneath of our butts all month. And we can have the most motivation we've ever had. But if we don't carry it beyond this month, it means nothing in our business. Because especially with sponsoring, it's not something that you see results on overnight. You may, but long-term results come with consistency. And so that's why I was struggling with Husband's Back. I'm not done in time. With making a program on sponsoring, because so many people want a quick fix. But with sponsoring, it has to go beyond that. So you're going to make this list, and then you're going to add to it as you think of more things. And so whenever you are looking for something to post on social media or like to discuss with someone, you're going to refer back to this list. These are the things that you should be posting, not about the money that you made. Although every once in a while, that's okay, because I think for some people, money is a motivator. But these are the things that we're going to work on posting, these feelings, the recognition, all of that kind of stuff. And the training that I watched, so the person said 99% of getting people to join your team is not asking people to join your team. So 99% of getting people to join your team is not asking them to join your team. So you may be like, well, how do you even get people to join? So she quotes it as shining and loving your business. So by posting the things about recognition and how much fun it is and all of that kind of stuff, you're shining and showing the love of Scentsy. And so that's what people are going to gravitate towards and be interested in. And this is that whole concept of indirect recruiting. So getting people to be interested in it without directly asking them if they want to join. And that is what I think gets you people that want to be in this business and have a love for the product and for the business, instead of just getting people that you have to drag through the mud and beg and beg and beg and plead to get them to join your business. So that is the concept of indirect recruiting. I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. People are always watching. People that you may even think they don't even see your post on social media. I have people from high school that I haven't talked to since I graduated that will reach out to me about a post I make about Scentsy. So people are always watching, and that's why you should be sharing. I don't think that you should share every single post about Scentsy, because then that's salesy and it's pushing it down people's throats. But sharing it occasionally and sprinkling it into your everyday life, living the Scentsy lifestyle, people are watching and they will gravitate more towards that because it seems more authentic. You should be using your personal Facebook page for a place of celebration, and don't feel like you have to hold back just because this is your personal page. Now, of course, always stay in compliance, and if you're going to discuss money, make sure that you include the income disclosure. But as far as like a feeling that it gives you, dig deep and really express how that makes you feel, because those people love and support you for who you are. They're your Facebook friends. So you should post how Scentsy makes you feel, and they'll feel that with you. Don't just go in there and say that you love the product, because I love Starbucks, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go open a chain. So you have to go beyond just loving the product and the fact that it makes you money. Like, talk about the feeling it actually gives you. It should always be a place of celebration, so you're posting everything. You can post anytime there's a Zoom meeting. Hannah is constantly doing weekly training, so you can post any of that. Recognition, so if we shout you out on the Boss Babes page, if you screenshot it and post it on your personal page, the fact that Scentsy is about recognizing even like the small victories, the community that you feel, so you can post about how we're doing this training and how you feel like, I'm not even sure how many people we have, but like these 20 people are really here to love and support you and help you grow your team. So you can post that kind of stuff, and that'll be more of a feeling than versus I love the product and it gives me extra money. So don't just sell the opportunity. You should be explaining how fun it is, because hopefully you are having fun, and if you're not, then we should talk, and why you love it. So not just the fact that you love being a Scentsy consultant, but why do you love being a Scentsy consultant? What does it mean for you? That why is huge. Always be positive. I know it's hard because we live in a very interesting time right now, and there's so many posts flying around about, political beliefs and beliefs on ethics and stuff like that, and it's so easy to get wrapped up in it. But just remember, at the end of the day, that you are a business owner, and your social media is basically like your storefront. So if you wouldn't blast it on a storefront on the street, then you shouldn't be blasting it on your social media page. And not that I want you to change who you are, because again, I can't tell you what to post and what not to post, but I do think that there is some sort of professionalism that we have to maintain, and remember that people are always watching. And so we want to be authentic while still being respectful of the fact that other people may have different opinions of us. And the biggest thing is take the selfies. So many of us don't want to get, I would say like almost all of us don't want to take a selfie and get in front of a camera. We always feel like our hair and makeup has to be perfect. We always feel like it has to look a certain way. But at the end of the day, people want to see your face, and so if you can take a selfie and then reflect back on how Scentsy makes you feel, first of all, that shows the fact that Scentsy is giving you some sort of confidence, even if it's not entirely. But I feel like so many of us have become more confident with this business. So many of us would never do a live training or get on Facebook Lives, and we've done that. So show your face. Don't just show the product. Show your face. Show the recognition. Show you holding, the ribbon that you get, or the pin that you get, or the certificate that you get, or whatever, and post that, because people are automatically going to gravitate more towards it if your face is on it. So take the selfies. This is really important, and this is a really hard one for me to understand. So I like to post about how the fact that Scentsy can be incorporated into a busy lifestyle. So I'm going to school and clinicals, all of that kind of stuff. We're about to move, and Scentsy is still a part of our lifestyle. So I like to show the fact that it can be adapted into the lifestyle, but you don't want to make it seem like Scentsy is a lot of work and takes a lot of time, because then people will think that they don't want that lifestyle. They don't want to feel busier than they already are. If they feel like it's a lot of work and not a lot of fun, why would they want to join you? So I think that you do have to be careful with what you post, and making it seem like it is fun, because it is tons of fun and not a lot of work. So just keep that in mind whenever you're posting about it too. At the end of the day, our job is to share Scentsy. So whether that is to get Scentsy into someone's home, whether that is to get someone into the Scentsy community, whether that's to get someone free and half price Scentsy, whatever it is, we have to share it. That's strictly and solely our job. And once you recognize that, then sponsoring is less scary, because you don't feel like you have to force people into joining your team. You're just simply sharing the opportunity, and those that want it will gravitate towards you, and those that don't have to watch it. So our job's simply share the Scentsy, and that's it. If you want them to say yes to the opportunity, you have to be having fun. So if you're not having fun, then that's the place that you need to start. And I think it's important for us to also recognize that our business will go through ups and downs, and there will be times that it may be more stressful, but that's just when we reevaluate and recognize that maybe we're not doing everything we should be doing, and we're making it more stressful on ourselves. And so that's whenever you reevaluate, take a step back, and you kind of flip your mindset. Someone said that they use this quote: have you ever considered joining Scentsy? It's so much fun, laid back, and chill. And that should never be a cold message, first of all, let me just say that. But if you're having a genuine conversation and they kind of lead you into the direction that you think that they may be interested, that's when you can use this line: have you ever considered it? It's so fun, it's laid back, it's chill. So then they don't feel like it's a lot of work, because if they're already a busy mom, working a full-time job, running kids to sports, and then you're like, have you ever considered joining? All they think is, there is no way I have time for that. But if you let them know that it's laid back and chill, and they can work it when they want to work it, then it's less scary for them. So that's a line that she really likes to use. If someone is freaking out saying how much they love the product, how much they love the new fall and winter catalog, they're really asking for permission for you to use that line. So I see that you love all the new stuff. Have you ever considered joining? It's so laid back and chill. You can put in your own orders. So just saying that they don't have to be salesy, they don't have to grow a team, that they can just do what they want to do because they love the product that much, then you can use that line. So they always say if someone's freaking out like that, then that's their invitation for you to use that line. Don't do random cold messages. I've said it 100 times, but I'll say it again. Do not do that. Don't use the hey girl line for someone that you haven't talked to in like 5 years. That's spammy and gross. You should be doing this all the time. So we'll talk about that whenever we talk about the Scentsy lifestyle, but I'll just go ahead and throw that in there. Kind of living that recruiting lifestyle all the time, not just at the end of the month, not just during phases where we need points for the incentive. This is an all the time thing. It's not a switch that you flip on and off. You should be posting this kind of stuff and therefore recruiting indirectly all the time. So Orville said it during a keynote one time, a lot of people will join for the product. So a lot of people will join as a consultant because they love Scentsy. They want to get their Scentsy for free and half off, and they want to get paid back on it, which is fine, totally fine. But they stay for the people. A lot of times people don't realize the community that we have. So once they get in here and they see that, that's what makes them stay. So keep that in mind. Live out loud and be proud. So be proud to be a Scentsy consultant. And if someone doesn't understand direct sales, if they say that it's a pyramid scheme, then you don't want them on your team anyways. So live it, live the Scentsy lifestyle, be proud of where you are, be proud of how far you've come just in your short time as a Scentsy consultant, because at the end of the day, you know, I've been a Scentsy consultant for 3 years, but that's a short chunk of my life. But if I look back at where I started and where I am now, I'm super proud of that journey. So I should be sharing that and be proud of where I've come. And then this is something to remember too. A lot of us are shooting for like titles, so wanting to get to that director level, which is fine. But also remember that the same team that gets you to a certain promotion may not be the same team that gets you to the next promotion. So people will come and go. That's what that's saying. And that's okay. This is not for everyone. Some people have things come up. While I believe that the $200 every 12 months is not a huge requirement, and I could spend that easily on myself, so I will stay a Scentsy consultant. For some people it's too much, and that's okay. So don't feel like the same team you have right now will be the one that will get you to director, and then star director, and then superstar director. You're going to filter through, and that's the beauty of this business, is that we keep that community consistent, and we continue to love and grow. And that's how we'll get to each title, even if it's not with the same people, because again, the same team that gets you there will not be the one that gets you at the very end. And with anything, as I always preach, consistency. So sharing and loving and being proud of where you come from, that is an everyday thing, not just a thing that you get whenever you want the incentive. You won't see results today, tomorrow, next week, or even next month. So that's why I really want to emphasize the importance of taking these tools outside of this month, outside of this growing bit by bit for the next, now it's only 4 weeks left, because it's super easy to be motivated right here when you have 20 women constantly supporting and sharing daily. It's a lot harder when you are living your everyday life and you are so focused on other things that you kind of forget these tools. So that's why I want to keep these videos short, so you can kind of reference back to them. If you need that little boost of motivation, that's okay. And then you have the simple steps that we're going to do each and every week. It's not a lot of homework. So last week was posting why you're here and sharing on your personal page. This week is creating that list of why people should join Cincy. So very small, actionable steps. That's the whole bit by bit. So taking bite-sized pieces and turning it into where we want to go with our recruiting journey. And I'll leave you with the last thing that I always say: stop caring what people think. They don't pay your bills. So many people are scared to share the Cincy journey because of the people that say it's a pyramid scheme, or that they're salesy, or whatever, because people always have something to say about those in direct sales, but they're not the ones paying their bills. So stop caring what they think. They don't pay your bills. Cincy can pay your bills. And so once you realize that people are going to talk about you no matter what, then you really stop putting so much energy and effort and time into thinking, oh, I care what someone that I've known from high school has to say about me. So I'll leave you with that. Don't forget to start your list and go ahead and post your list on this page. It doesn't have to be a full list. And please, if you see someone else's list and you're struggling with things to think, you can use their list for inspiration. But if we see 2 lists that are exactly the same, it's going to be a red flag. So this list needs to be personal to you, not to what Brooke has to post about it, or what Buffy has to post about it, or whoever else. So make it your list. You can use other leaders and other people's lists as inspiration, but don't copy and paste their same things, because then it's not personal, and then we lose the whole idea of this whole training. So make your list and then post it on this page before next week. And then if you haven't done the 2 tasks from last week, please go ahead and do that. Again, I'm not keeping track of who is and who isn't doing things. Just way too much going on right now. And like I said, outside of this training, I can't check in with you constantly and make sure you're doing what you need to do. So we're going to start the accountability here in this program. So you are the one in charge of making sure that you do what you are supposed to do. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.